Hello, welcome folks. Time for another league with AmuLIT. Guys, don't play a braid. Wait, what? Fresh Kale. That's a funny username. All right, Fresh Kale. What do you got for me? Punished for playing Triumph. I guess this is still a keep. If this has been a forest, it would have been a lot better. Tron. It's not awful, actually. So this allows me to explore and Stacy. World Breaker. Okay. Speaking of syncopation, I just watched a YouTube video on how to convert rhythms from syncopation into quintuplets. Shit was sick. Yeah. I mean, that's if you are creative enough, syncopation can turn into whatever the hell you want. That's what makes the book so good. Oh, yeah, sure. Main deck Thoughtless here. Classic. Alright, so we have another Lamar coming up next turn. So Ghost Squatter plus Boros. Bounce Ghost Squatter. Do this. So they got a second tower, so I guess I'm definitely going after one of these, but it's 50-50 chance, so it's kind of whatever. Just watch a couple of videos on your website. So oh, thank you, Smarty Pan. Appreciate it. Thank you. Tron players. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love it? You chose poorly. Yep. Clearly it was a huge punt to, just make any choice at all. Eugene. Yeah. Giant. Green, 1 and 1. What's this? Would I rather kill this or would I rather kill this? I think I'd rather kill. Oof. Almost misclick there. I think I'd rather kill the Warbreaker. Oh, they just have Olimog. Classic. Oh. Just tapped extra mana for no reason. Guess that's the move. TBH that back was very lucky. Yeah. I mean, we have 10 packs that we're drawing towards, right? So transmute, Summoner's Pact. Giant, couple of Sombos, Pact, Prime Time, cast Prime Time, we're going to haste Prime Time, we're going to clear the Ugin, of course. Toler West, Simigrowth Chamber, got to make sure that we have those blue sources. Bounce here, haste there. Attack Ugin, because Ugin just clears my zombies. We don't want that. And I guess we're gonna get Gruul Turf plus Windsweep Heath. If they had destroyed either my garrison or my stronghold preferably, my opponent would be in a lot better shape. But maybe they're not very familiar with how the AmuLIT matchup works out. Let's see what this is. So we just died to my opponent choosing to not pay for the pact, so this is just deterministic. Matt, with the tier 1 sub, welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for the continued support. How would we lose? Summoner's Pact asks you. It says that you may pay 4. You can choose to not to pay. And my opponent is going to control my next turn because of the Emrakul effect. And then they're going to choose to not pay. Yeah. I still think the Tron matchup is very good. Our opponent definitely had like the perfect Tron draw, right? Tron, I was able to stop the Tron, but then they also had a way to... They had Tron immediately. They didn't even have to cantrip for it, so they were just able to undo what I did. I mean, that's what Tron does, right? This hand doesn't do anything. This hand also doesn't do anything. We're going to down to 5. Also a hand that doesn't do anything, down to 4. And this hand does something. So we bottom this, we bottom this, and we bottom this. Actually, we need the Azusa. So we're gonna bottom this, we're gonna bottom this, and I guess we're gonna bottom the Field of the Dead. So now if we draw a bounce line, we actually have a shot. If we draw a bounce line, we have a turn 4 Titan. It's not a bounce land. Just going into the deck, IRL was wondering how could I replace Uro and one Cavern idea. Well, the Cavern is really easy to find a replacement to, which is just like play the Dual Land, like Breeding Pool or something like that should be fine. You're gonna be playing a strictly worse version of the deck. I mean, you have to be aware of that. You're just playing a worse version, and your deck is not gonna be as powerful, but you're gonna be fine. Uro you can replace with something as simple as a 4th copy of Explore. You can replace it maybe with 1/1 drop, something like that. So you have a lot of options depending on what you want to do. So you can use Grazer. Still drawing towards the bounce line. Still drawing towards the bounce line. Yeah, Lavnir, anytime. They can still punt here. Yep, they punted. Just as I was saying, we still can set up a Dryad. So we need to draw bounce land right here. That's not a bounce land, so it doesn't matter. But if we had drawn a bounce land here, we could have packed it for Dryad. We get 4 mana, we cast the Dryad, we use the 2nd land drop, we attack with Titan, we clear the Karn, and we can also go squatter them. But yeah, we moved to 4 and did not get lucky, and our opponent just didn't even need to. They moved to 6 and they did get lucky, so. Nothing, like, my opponent did not play that match particularly well. Like, basically every mistake that they could have made, they did, but it just didn't matter because because that's what Tron does. Like, that's the power of Tron. You don't need to play it well in order to do well with it. Yeah, we're gonna ship this. Damn it. Out of 5. Okay, this hand is cool. We have to ship 2 cards, so we're gonna ship the basic and the Valakut. Tron is my least favorite matchup. I think it's a good matchup for us, but like you saw what happened there, right? Like my opponent basically had the perfects every time, and we could not catch a break. He's here with the tier 1 sub. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. He's here for the 14th month in a row. It's a lot of months. Really appreciate the support. Never lucky sad times. Good thing is that our deck is a piece of art. Oh yeah, indeed. Can never get enough. I've been back on Rexage in the main. I don't think I'm interested in that. I don't think I'm interested in main deck Sage. It is a card that you can play, but like it wouldn't even in that matchup it wouldn't have done absolutely anything, right? I played Pitch Blue before just to play on Tron and Neobrand. It felt good. Yeah, nice. Ugh, tough way to tap your mana there. Tough way to tap your mana. If this is a Blood Moon, we just lose. Yeah. I think it's fair to say that we've been hitting some bad matchups. No, not bad matchups. I mean, I guess yes, bad matchups. We played against Neobrand earlier, but like, we're definitely not hitting good variants. All right, we can pack it in now. For those of you that don't know how this interaction works, whatever is the last thing to come into play, that is the one that's going to reign supreme, basically. So since I play the Dryad and then my opponent played the Magus is the card that goes into effect, ignoring the Dryad effect. However, because this only affects non-basic lands, if I had a Forest in play with a Dryad in play, even though the Magus came into play afterwards, I would still be able to make mana of any color from my basics. Which is definitely an interesting concept, especially when we're bringing in Aether Gust, right? All right, finally, the red splash is going to have its time to shine. Let's go. Let's go, Craig Wesco. I play versus this deck 1-2 times every league. Yeah, same here. That's why that's what's the whole point for the red splash, honestly. Just don't enjoy playing it outside of playing mill against it. I've never enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a boring deck, but it wins, right? That's what matters, and that's why people play it. I don't think anybody can have fun playing Tron. Scott here, searching for the nonsense. No, just mixing it up here, Redsword. My current no-nonsense list has been performing pretty well, which is this one. Which is the one I brought in the Cyber Guide with. And stuff like that. But I'm just trying things out today. Splashing red in the sideboard. We're gonna see if it pays off right now. Gonna see whether it pays off. One thing to be aware of is that in order to add the Ketria Triumph, I did cut one of my basics. So the good thing is that because of the removal spells that I chose to bring in, that should not be a problem. Sure. We just need to find lands here, but if we do, basically our hand does everything that we want a hand to do, which is to have an amulet, to be able to ramp, and to have removal spells for our opponent's problematic creatures. So we just have to find any land, actually. I mean, bounce land would be the best case scenario by far, but we don't need a bounce land. We can just use any land, would just suffice. This is why we play 30 lands, baby. Do you think they bring Boil in case of you play Dryad? They might. But I'm not really too afraid of Boil in general. Also, they oftentimes play Choke instead of Boil because it combos pretty well with Bloodbraid Elf. Opponent's basically playing Astral Ren. Ketria Triumph. Sure. We do have another removal spell, so I think it's fine for us to blow up the elf. Slow down our opponent. They only have access to three mana now. Clothis. Land? Bounce land would be ideal. Another Dryad. Can't even haste. So Clothis is not the end of the world here. But we need to find the land pronto, otherwise we're just going to die. We're gonna get boiled here. Choked. Oh, Chandrad. Oh, Acid Mossed. Sure. It's kind of whatever. Can't catch a break today. I don't know why. Just cannot catch a break. I know my opponents are they just keep making mistake after mistake after mistake. And it just doesn't matter because I just draw like shit and I can't punish them. Like, they should have 100% destroyed my Stronghold. Like, this is the only card that matters. This is what makes Titan a threat. It's not this that makes Titan a threat. It's this. So I don't understand why you would destroy this instead of this. Same thing with my Tron opponent. It's just like consistently failing to truly, yeah. consistently failing to like understand which one is the actual threat. Like how they lose the game. But it just doesn't matter because like they didn't even fetch. Now they can't cycle, like messing up their sequencing. So because of the interaction that I explained earlier, you see that we can still tap this for blue. I think we're just going to pass the turn here. And we're just going to end step, gust the Blood Moon. It's really unfortunate. Just hoping for the meme of boiling a Titan deck. I have gotten boiled in the past. I've also beaten Boil many times as well. Like, Boil wouldn't do anything here. Boil is some pretty bad dyssynergy with Blood Moon. Choke, same thing. So I think I'm going to block here. Should I block with both? I guess it's free to block with both. And then I'm gonna gust the Blood Moon. That makes so the Clothis disappears. Spikes definitely boil the Dryad deck. Yeah, it happens sometimes. I think it's kind of cheesy, but I think that the boil plan is okay, while I think that the choke plan is just awful. I feel like the choke plan is failing, again, like failing to address what the matchup is about. Okay, so in theory we should be able to answer the Rend here. Never mind. They just cycled into the thicket. Maybe that was a mistake. I should have taken the 4 damage. Yeah, now that I think about it, I should have just taken the 4 damage. And this is why I side out some number of amulets in this matchup. It's pretty bad. They didn't have anything last turn though, but they have Rend going, which is a big problem, and we just cannot for the life of us just find a land. Just cannot ever find a land. It's just not a thing. Can't find land. This is getting very frustrating. It's getting very frustrating, especially because my opponent just keeps on making the same mistake. Why are they not fetching? They should be fetching. It allows them to get value from rain and also allows them to like have more green sources. Why are they not fetching? It clearly doesn't matter, but they should have fetched. They could have fetched both lands before the Blood Moon. I know that they're mountains. That's my point. That's my point. They could be forests if my opponent were a little bit more careful. But I just cannot find a land, so I'm just gonna back it in. This game just doesn't make any sense. That's rough. We really hit rock bottom with those 2 matches, so I guess there's nowhere to go but up, folks. So let's go. I don't think they're dummy. I just think that they're just making plays at random because it just doesn't matter because my hand just doesn't work. Is this similar to why I was tilted the other day? Yeah, I mean, it happens, I guess. And Modern is a format that sometimes tends to this. I get a lot less tilted in Legacy because I have a lot more agency over what's going on. In Modern, sometimes you just don't. But I honestly don't think it's even Modern's fault today. It's just like I have 30 lands in my deck and I just cannot find my third one. In like, what was that, like 7 or 8 draw steps? It was probably more than that. And we even explored. Sometimes it's just... my thing makes... My chair's making farting noises. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's Magic. There's some variance involved and all that stuff that everybody says. And all that stuff that everybody says is because it's true, so... Sometimes you hit a bad strike, you know? Bad streak, not a strike. Strike is a different thing. Streak. Sometimes you just hit a bad streak, and it is what it is. Cherry might as well have said it was my wife. I mean, I do own my farts. I don't need to go around just faking it. So this is short 1 mana for Titan purposes. And it also doesn't have a Titan. This hand is better. Bottom of the Valakut. Legacy is confounding for me. I struggle so much with that format. Yeah, I did struggle. I did struggle a non-zero amount with Legacy as well. Well, actually, I think I'm going to bottom the Summoner's Pact here. Because this is a blue source, so I can fetch for a Misty, for a Breeding Pool, sorry, and then I play 2 lands. And then this is my blue source, so I can find another bounce land. Okay, no friend, maybe you can hear them, but I can't feel them. It's a tough life. It's a tough life, Stabs. Legacy is fine when the format is fixed, but right now you're either Astrolabe, Derp, or a weird combo deck. I've been having fun in Legacy, honestly, so I'm not too worried about it currently. Like the other day I played Maverick and I went 4-1 twice, right? If you can play Maverick and you can go 4-1 twice in a row, then the format is probably in fine shape. But I think that if you're playing Maverick, for example, there are certain cards that you need to be playing. Like, for example, you need to be playing either Abrupt Decay or Clothes in order to answer Oko. The Red Splash, I was pretty impressed by the Red Splash, actually. The Red Splash list that I played with Pyroblast in the sideboard, like, Oko did not feel that good against that list. Like, it was still good, right? But, like, I beat Oko pretty easily the one time I faced it. So that's probably a good sign. Hasn't Legacy always been combo, tempo, and control? Yeah, but the problem is that in the past, control decks, unless you were playing exactly Miracles, usually control decks that were playing multiple colors and like good stuff decks would get punished by Wasteland pretty harshly. If you think about like the Gruul check piles decks, the check pile decks that you would see in the past. Just sure. It's like tank, and name and play melee mage. Interesting. Wow. All right, I guess we have a shot, folks. guess we have a shot. Damn it. So I think we're gonna pass this turn. Next turn we can Titan. Or if my opponent plays another meddling mage, we can just play explosives on 2. But I don't think that playing explosives, like if I had gotten explosives there, we would have gotten got by a freebooter. So by doing it like this, we're actually safe. Sure, so now we're going to take this. This is fine. Another prime time. 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess, yeah, so 1, 2, 3. Activate here. Flow 2 mana, bounce, play this. Make sure this is untapped so we can crack it. Bounce, transmute, engineer the explosives. EE for 2. They might have another mage, yes, but I can just crack this on end step, which is what I'm planning on doing. We still need to draw a Pact of Negation, a land. Any land will do it because we have the AmuLIT, but we still need to find a land off the top here. Actually, needs a quick ban. It has enabled some really bad gameplay. I have not been that upset with Astrolabe. I think that there are a lot of other things that need a ban before Astrolabe. Yep. I know. Would be great if I could ever get rewarded for my plays. Would be great if I could ever get rewarded for my plays. Now we're dead to Mantis Rider. Ah, it's not lethal. Gimme. Come on. Let me get rewarded for my place. Let me get rewarded for my place, please. Jeez, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, okay, so we're gonna do Vesuva, Radiant Fountain. No, actually we're gonna get Stronghold plus Simic Growth. Yeah, Stronghold plus Simic Growth is the line. I'm gonna bounce this here. Summon Respect, Dryad, play Dryad, play this. Can we set up lethal here? Haste prime time. Valakut, yes. So we swing for 8 with Vesuva, that's 12. We can't fetch, however. We can't fetch, and we cannot make any extra land drops. What we can do is get Radiant Fountain plus fetch land. Yeah, that's the line. Radiant Fountain plus fetch land is the line because that's what allows me to play around Mantis Rider off the top. Radiant Fountain and fetch land. Kill here, kill here. Yes, Yes, clear the board. Go up to 3. We can pay for upkeep. And even if they draw Mantis Rider, we can kill it anyway. All right, cool. Uro is nice. Shave those. Cut Bojuka Bog. What does Aether Gust do? Aether Gust takes care of Mantis Rider. Nah, it's not worth it. Definitely not worth it. Keep Explore. Rider and Hierarchy. Yeah, that's not good enough. Yeah, I'm thinking whether I'd rather have an extra land or I'd rather have a Gust, and I think I'd rather have an Explore or something like that. Yeah, I'm just analyzing my options. Turn 1 Amulet with Castle and a Dryad. I think this is keepable. Okay. So that widens my potential draws. Actually, that was a mistake. I should have gone with Snowboard Force on 1. Now if I draw a Boros Garrison, I cannot draw it on 2, which it's potentially problematic. I mean, they went with Dryad last game, so I assume that they're going to go with Dryad again. This time they go with Primeval Titan. That is weird. Play Dryad, play Castle, say go. So next turn we can transmute. We have a blocker for the Meddling Mage, which is nice. Now we have red sources for a potential Fire Spout off the top, which would be our best draw. Choke. Oh my god. I cannot believe this. Alright, cool. So now you cannot answer my Dryad, which means that I get to do whatever I want. This is the worst cyber card I've ever seen coming out of humans. Wow. That's such a bad idea. Yeah, this is why I always say, right? You have to think about like what your cards do. Now if I can transmute for Valakut and my opponent literally cannot answer my Dryad, otherwise their choke doesn't do anything. Like, what are they doing? Mantis Rider? We can answer that with Valakut. Yeah, this is just really bad sideboarding. This is just very bad sideboarding. Also, why are they playing choke in their lol? Why are they playing choke in their humans deck? Okay, so change of plans now. We just show them how bad their sideboarding was by doing this. Transmute for Gruul Turf. Nice choke, LOL. Yeah. Again, like this is just such a common misconception in this matchup. This is such a common misconception. If you have choke in your sideboard, please do yourself a favor. Improve your matchup win rate considerably against AmuLIT and don't bring in choke. Choke is a little bit more defensible against something like I don't know, like Titan Field. If you really want to get, cheesy. But as you can see, like, this choke is just embarrassing for my opponent. It also means that now my Dryad is just good to go, because they cannot answer, because as soon as they answer it, they just mulliganed. So it just blows my mind when people bring choke against, especially from a deck like humans. Just to begin with, choke seems really bad in the humans deck to begin with, and then just bring it against AmuLIT, it's even worse. So I can haste here. Or we can haste off a Valakut, so we can even trigger. Yeah, this is just... This is just complete nonsense. Dryad too strong with 4 toughness. It kind of really is, honestly. Bounce this, play my Titan. Yeah. I don't know what my opponent cut for choke, but whatever they cut, it doesn't matter what it is. It would have been a lot better than this choke by so much. Susa for the Robins too. Yeah, Susa even allows me to haste this turn with Valakut instead of needing to get Boros. Dryad ban soon confirmed. I mean... You are kind of banking on your opponent bringing in choke against you. So they keep 7, they give us no information. I think because of the Explore, I'm going to lead on AmuLIT. It's the same rationale that I had last time that I did this. Is I'm thinking about what my opponent could have, and they could have removal, and they could have... damn it, this stupid deck again. They could have removal, or they could have like a discard spell. And against both things, okay. So fetch for Snow Forest, Explore, copy my Snow Forest. I'll just again copy Forest. Yeah, this, I mean, we have a little bit more game this time around. That's pretty gross. Should I cycle this? Can I draw something if I cycle this? I think I'd rather get closer to either a castle or... Yeah, I think we're gonna cycle this. It gets us closer to a castle or a bounce, which is what allows me to Titan on the next turn. Interesting that this deck is now playing Ren. It's not crazy, honestly. Like, Ren is such a silly card. Blood Moon. Blood Braid into Blood Moon. Blood Braid into Plothis. Okay. It's not that bad. Bounce land or castle, please. 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 Huh! I guess at least we do have access to an answer to a potential Blood Moon now, because we can just pact it. Can we find one more land? Can we find one more land before it's too late? I'm not blocking this blood right here. Taking 7. I'm going for the kill. Any land does it. Can I draw literally every land in my 31 land deck? That guy is fine. Can we do it? Any land. Easy. Whee. So Valakut Stronghold. This is going to be 6 down to 13. We're going to attack with Titan. Oh, they just concede. Okay. Wow, winning game 1 in that matchup feels pretty great. Thank you for the follow there, Tommen4321. Appreciate it. Cutting 1 amulet, cutting a couple of packs, cutting that. We're cutting Cavern. I guess I'd rather cut Bochukabog and could cut Ghost Quarter. All right, let's go, baby. Mono 3 drop dot hand. Okay, I like this. I'm actually gonna bottom the Tolaria West. Because Valakut allows me to cast this fire spell without needing to expose the Gruul turf preemptively or prematurely, I guess. Honestly, the best thing that can happen for us here is we get Blood Mooned. We get Magus of the Mooned. Getting Magus would be pretty good for us here. Clothis sucks a little bit more. How do I board against Jund? I cut all the Stacies and I bring in the Gusts and the Beast Withins, and I cut 1 Summoner's back. I guess it depends on the list. It depends a lot on whatever list I'm running at that point. And my list changes very often, so. Yeah, if you're interested in my cyber plan on literally every matchup, you can subscribe to the channel and you can join my Discord. Glorybringer is really, really scary. I think we're just gonna die to this. If they have another Glorybringer, I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat that. Choke. People just Even if they cut something like a Bone Crusher or something like that, imagine how much better would be the Bone Crusher than this choke right here. So now we're gonna play the Dryad. My opponent might not even... They might not even use the Glorybringer. And if they don't, that's great for us because we're gonna start triggering Valakut, so... Also, we can blow this up if we want on end step. I don't think we're going to. I guess it depends on what they do here. Yeah. So they exert, which means that the choke is doing absolutely nothing. This is why I'm saying that this card is just stupid. It's just like... It doesn't do anything. I'm still dead to these two cards, but like... What's the point? Hey Vados, how's it going? Welcome, dude. Welcome, welcome. I think after this league, I am going to do some pod brewing, and then we're gonna have like a final league. Okay, sure. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty stoked about tomorrow. For those of you that don't know, Everos and I tomorrow are going to be playing an event. I guess like I keep calling it an event, and I think it's just a fun way to call it. But basically, we're going to play against each other, and the goal is we want to see whether it could potentially be safe to unban Splinter Twin and Pod. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be in the Pod deck, which is what I'm gonna be doing as soon as we finish this league. And then everyone else is going to be building a twin deck, and then we're going to run them against each other. And then, of course, we're going to be playing against the Modern Gauntlet. So I'm pretty freaking stoked about it, if I'm being honest. Okay, so we're going to play this. Play Dryad and play Triome, pass the turn. I'm sorry that we couldn't work around your work schedule, Stabs. I'm sorry. You're gonna be fine. I'm gonna upload everything to YouTube, so people are gonna be able to check it out afterwards. Glorybringer. Cool. Gonna be playing the Blade. We were thinking about it, Harlan. We were going to... I think the gauntlet that we're looking at is going to include humans, Grixis Shadow, and those two are mostly going to be included because I think that those are decks that could actually rise to the top if Twin, like Pod and Twin, could be good matchups for those decks. So we wanted to include in the roster some decks that would actually be pretty solid against those decks, you know, in order to make things a little bit more fair. What are we gonna do here? Just get semi-growth? Yeah, sounds right. I'm gonna bounce Radiant Font. Spider thinks we're way off about humans with both decks with dumpster humans. You think so? I could see it maybe from Twin, but like Cavern of Souls can be kind of rough. Cavern of Souls plus Freebooter plus Meddling Mage seems like all of that stuff would be solid against humans. Like, am I just crazy for thinking that? Gonna play them versus all the mediocre decks that are gonna push out of the meta. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're gonna try to figure out, whether those decks would be able to hang with Twin. And then, you know, kind of like see what's up and then take it from there accordingly. Okay. So we don't have Sombos anymore, but we have another Titan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is gonna be fine. T-West Garrison. Unban artifact lands. Yeah. Those are so bad. So they block there. Oh, wow. So we get to blow them out here. So if I gust here, that means that they have to recast the Glorybringer, the Clothes, stops being a creature, and they're just chomping with the Bloodbraid Elf, and then we get to resolve another Titan. And now they are even further away from activating their Clothes. Glorybringer went to the bottom. I want Affinity back. Jeez. Remember Affinity? Arcan, Legacy Council, thank you so much for the host. Welcome everybody from Arcan stream. Playing some AmuLIT here. Somehow beating an awful matchup. Finally catching a break. We've had some tough matchups. Some tough matchups that we played in the previous 2 rounds. So we're finally catching a break and we're able to beat one awful matchup for us. So that's pretty exciting. Opponent packs it in. Hashtag no bad matchups, baby. If you want Affinity back, you can always play Popper. Yeah, I guess it's fine there, right? It doesn't have Ravager. That's true, yeah. I mean, didn't the hardness scales kind of come back? So turn 2 explore. We have Titan mana. We're only missing a Titan with Dryad. Okay. Hardness scales came back with Lurrus. Yeah. Isn't plating a common? Pauper Affinity doesn't play plating? That sounds crazy to me. Sure. Guess we don't have to take damage anymore now. Oh, playing is banned? Okay, gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. For plating to be banned makes a lot of sense in Pauper. Aha, crazy that you would choose to not play plating. That sounds like such a strong card in Affinity. Ocelot is more busted than Lurrus. Yeah, the Ocelot, when we played Affinity here on stream, the Ocelot looked pretty freaking great. If I make my opponent blow this up, then we still have 3 mana next turn. Yeah, I think I want to entice my opponent to... I want to present them with a succulent target for their Field of Ruin. Choosing to play plating committee guys because they end up kicking you out. Feels bad, man. Oh, we're playing against Nassif's deck? Poggers. Poggers. It's gonna be a Uro here. Liliana. Okay. So should we Azusa or should we Dryad? I think I'm going to Azusa here. Allows me to make more land drops. Just play out all my bounce lands. How often did you go through an Astrolabe? Because I heard Astrolabe is quality mana fixer. Yeah, it's pretty good. I do like this card. Wow, they -2? Why would they -2 there? They just have nothing? I dare you. I double dare you to field me. Gonna get a cavern here, obviously. Not a good line from OP here. Not a good line whatsoever from OP there. Are they gonna push my Azusa? That would be excellent for me. Oof. Good for us. That's like the absolute best case scenario. So now we get our cavern. We only used one land drop for now. Play this. They already used their thingy. They cannot make a blocker. For whatever reason, they attack with their Ice Fang, and we get to max punish them here. Super max punishment there. They do have a Snapcaster in hand, so this push is potentially value here. Chase, you got it. That was just too rewarding. Yeah, that was like the absolute best case scenario for us. Now we don't even need to expose this. We can get the field. We can copy it with Vesuva. They don't have... Yeah, this is just really good for us. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play this. We have another land drop. So we can get a bounce land and Vestige. Vestige and Gruul Turf. Make some Sombos. Opponent packs it in. Yep. Sounds about right. Alright, Mystical Disputes. Beast Within is for Ashiok. Untitled Chapter, which is the absolute nutter butters. And Field of Ruin. Cut some castles, cut this. Shave some Stacies. We can shave one amulet. And okay, Valkyries just throw a million damage at them because I'd rather attack with the Titan. Oops, sorry. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I don't think you want too many EEs. And Asif's list was playing like 1 or 2 Ashioks, and that's like literally the only thing that I care about. So the only reason why explosives is here because I can put it on 3 and answer an Ashiok. Why cut castles and not fountain? Because I don't want to be using castle. I'd rather use Cavernous Souls. There's a pretty important lack of synergy between these two. On games 2 and 3, we definitely have to watch out because I think that Sif was playing like the Fourfold Aether Gusts, which is kind of crazy, but and yes, you do not want to find yourself in a position where your opponent is trying to set up a racing situation and you cannot win the race. Radiant Fountain allows you to win the race, and it's a lot less rare for your control opponents to try to present a threat early and try to race you from there. You see that a lot with like Monastery Mentor decks, like white decks. They would side in Monastery Mentor against you. They would try to race you instead of just trying to establish complete control, because it's actually pretty tough for them to establish complete control because of Cavernous Souls, like Weakened Hit on Mana, Uro, Tireless Tracker. We just present a lot of threats that are tough for them to deal with. So that's why I choose to cut castles over Fountain. Good hand. Good hand. This hand is a lot worse against this style of deck than against the Path to Exile deck, because Stacy is just not as good when it gets pushed. It's a lot better when it gets pathed. Don't know how many pushes my opponent left in their deck. Probably left like 2 pushes, maybe 3 at most. All right, pass to you, OP. Actually, I guess that was a mistake. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. Thanks for the explanation. These small details make you some percentage better. Of course, yeah, that's the point. That's what I'm always trying to. What I'm always trying to do. All my content is definitely aimed at hopefully trying to make you a better player. Okay. They're gonna slam the Ashiok here. Field. Definitely gonna be activating here, because if they blow up the cavern in response, we get them. If they blow this up, we don't care. That's actually great for us. So hopefully they blow this up in response. Unless they also have push. If they blow this up and then they push my Dryad, my Stacy, that's a lot more problematic. Yeah. With this kind of plays is how you can see. You get to see whether a player is familiar with the AmuLIT matchup or not. So we're gonna name Giant Play Tracker. I guess we pass the turn here. Yeah, because we have 2 untapped lands, so if our opponent does go for answering the tracker to deny me mana, that means that we get to just hard cast the Titan, so... Let's go. Also fetching those basics? Aether Gust? Oh no! Definitely on top. Play this. They might have another Gust, which is what I would imagine that's going on here. But we're gonna slam the Titan just the same. They play 4 Gusts. Yeah, I'm well aware. I am well aware. But this is 2 gas less, right, that I have to deal with. Cryptic bounce my land. That is a desperation move if I've ever seen one. That is a desperation move if I've ever seen one. This is why Tracker is so good, man. She's so good. It puts so much pressure by just being there. It's crazy how good she is. Okay. Gust on top. Still don't have any black mana. Never mind. They have black mana now. Yeah, you can't attack. This is great. Puts so much pressure. It's amazing. Of course, if we draw any land that we don't have the name of, we already start getting field triggers, so... There's also that. We're just pressuring my opponent on so many different angles. And they're just drawing Aether Gusts, but what they're failing to realize is the fact that every turn that we replay, things get better for me. It's not the other way around. I could... Another prime time. So I'm trying to see if I manage to find like a dispute or something like that, or even another land. All right, there we go. That's good, actually. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we pass the turn. Of course, I'm not interested in trading with this Squirtle. Yeah, my opponent passed the turn with 4 mana unused. That's just huge. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay. Now they don't have enough mana to answer the Tracker and answer the Titan. We kind of need to make sure that we just clear this Jace right now. So what I'm going to do, next turn is end of turn, I'm going to play my Radiant Fountain here. Play the Tracker so much I've started playing your list with the Tracker main instead of the third Azusa. They do different things. Xerxes, I would not play a Tracker over an Azusa. People always look for excuses to cut Azusa, and I just think that's just wrong. So it's pretty good. Start here. See what you got, OP. Let's try with this one. Let's play this one now. Now we start getting Sombos. Bounce this. I'm gonna crack this right now. So now we go to combat. Swing at Jace. There's the Gust. Now this is a good question here. Should I let this resolve and resolve a Titan? I think I should. They get to untap with Jace for one turn. Alternatively, I can just Pact for Azusa and just cast the Titan anyway. Yeah, that seems better. They might force here, but if they force, then we're probably looking pretty good anyway. Okay, so Jace down. Hella blue for Dispute and use the 2 other for crack any E. I think I'd rather go with this line right here because it forces my opponent's hand on the Aether Gust. Now we can cast Azusa. Play this. We get to Titan this turn. Anyway. Alright. That's pretty cool. That was a pretty hype way to end that league. Titan plus Dryad with Valakut is not better. Yes, but what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to force my opponent's hand, and I'm trying to force them to use their cards in an inferior way. I guess the problem with your line is if my opponent has Gust plus Force, we get brutally owned, right? Whereas with this line, like I force my opponent to use the Gust, and then they use the Gust on the tracker, and then if they have a Force to counter my Dispute, we don't care, right? Because then we get to do exactly what I just did. So, yeah, I had 2 pacts. Yes, but what I'm trying to say is precisely that. The pact is not for that. The Gust would be for the Titan. You're asking me to start the turn with Titan, right? If I start the turn with Titan, my opponent Gusts it, and then I dispute the Gust, and then they force my Dispute, then I got time walked, right? Whereas with my line, I am forcing my opponent to be the first one to do anything. They started with the Gust, then I got to Dispute. Now they have to force my Dispute, and I still get to do all the stuff that I just did. So I feel like my line is the least risky and still allows me to put the most things in play. I don't care about getting Valakut activated because I'm just going to win with zombies. Not after the attack. Wait, what? I don't understand what you're saying. After the attack. Yeah, I attack with the tracker in order to force my opponent's hand, which is exactly what happened. Anyway, we got there. I think that my line made the most sense because it forces my opponent to be the first one to react. I think it's fine though. Like I'm always down to discussing lines, but I think I got lost in this one. Anyway, this list was fine. The fire spell was fine against humans. It did some nice job there. Is it better than this? I don't know. I just don't know. I've been having more success with this list than with this one today. We did hit some very bad variants today, though, so I definitely want to point that out, which adds to the overall to the overall experience. I think I have one more league in me. What time is it? 2:15. Yeah, we're definitely going to be playing one more league. But before we do that, I want to do some brewing for tomorrow. So chat, you're going to help me make history happen here, okay? If you're watching YouTube, first of all, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for the next video. Bye-bye.